Hello, everyone, and welcome to our complimentary webinar today, Contagious Customer Service. We are excited to have you with us, and thank you again for registering. We will have time for a Q&A session at the end of our presentation, so be sure to submit any questions you have during the presentation in the chat box provided. I'll introduce our speaker for today, Oscar Combs. Oscar Combs is a senior consultant of the ISO 9001 group. Oscar has over 24 years of experience providing consulting, auditing, and training to organizations such as Transocean, Hewlett-Packard, Kawasaki, Cameron, Halliburton, and numerous other medium and small-size organizations throughout the U.S. and abroad. Oscar holds an MBA from the University of Houston and is an exemplar certified lead auditor and principal management consultant. Everyone, let's welcome Oscar and begin our presentation for today.
All right. Hey, Victoria, thank you for that wonderful introduction. I'm very happy that everyone was able to register and attend the webinar today on how to provide contagious customer service, meaning how do we provide customer service at such a high level that it becomes contagious and that our customers, they simply just can't wait to do business with us again. So if we really think about it, organizations, we spend a lot of time and money to acquire our customers through our marketing, through our advertising, all the other things that we do to try to catch our customers' attention. And once we catch their attention and convince them through our sales process to actually give us an opportunity to do business with our organization, we should do everything that we can to provide them with excellent customer service so that they want to come back over and over and over again to do business with our organizations. So customers are the organization's number one asset, because without customers, of course, we don't have a business. All right, so in this webinar, my goal is to cover three things. For one, just really talk about what customer service is and what it's not. I'm going to also share a business case with one of the largest fast food chains in the world and how they provide contagious customer service. And then we will also give you some key steps in providing contagious customer service for your organization. But before we get into that, I wanted to explain a little bit about our company, give you a further introduction to who we are, what we do. Here at the ISO 9001 group, we provide management system consulting, auditing, and training. So we help organizations that are looking to design and implement maybe an ISO 9001 system for quality, maybe an ISO 14001 for environmental, ISO 45001 for occupational health and safety, API, aerospace, AS 9100, many other, automotive, IATF 16949, many other management systems that we support. Our firm is based in Houston, Texas, but we have clients all over. We have clients all throughout the United States. We have clients internationally as well. So wherever our clients are, we will go. We also have consultants in certain areas to help our clients reduce or eliminate travel expenses as well. Our goal here is to help your company improve its operations and reduce its risk through your management system. That's what a management system should be about. Our consultants on par have an average 25 years of experience. So we are ready to help you achieve your business goals. Our company is also ISO 9001 certified, and we are accredited by the Better Business Bureau with an A+ rating. Also would like to encourage you to follow us on your favorite social media site. You will find us at ISO 9001 group. So you can go there and search us, like us, follow us. We will post this webinar to our social media sites, and we often post various tips and things of this nature to help your organization on a day-to-day basis. I'd like to also encourage you to stay logged on to the webinar to the end. We will have a question and answer session at the end, and even during the webinar you can submit your questions using the chat feature, and we'll get around to answering your question. If not during this webinar, we will respond to your question after the webinar. So please stay tuned in to the very end. All right, so let's talk about why we're here today. We're here today talking about customer service. And one thing that I like about this screen, we see a heart here, right? Because that's what we really should be focusing on with our customers, trying to make some type of connection, emotional connection with our customers. And we'll talk about that more in a bit. But what is customer service? So customer service could be summed up as how your organization's employees and sometimes even your suppliers interact with your organization's customers. So it's very important that your employees understand how they are to interact with customers, and also your suppliers. If your suppliers deal directly with your customers, it's very important that you set the expectations of how your customers should be treated. What level of service should be provided to your customers. The next thing we want to do is that we want to make your customers feel good when they do business with our companies. How do you make them feel? Do you make them feel appreciated? Do you make them feel respected? Do you make them feel valued? Right? Or do you discredit them, or they say something, you don't really take action on it? They call you don't spend time really understanding what their needs are because you're busy trying to get to the next customer. Right? How did you make them feel when they were doing business with your company? When they called you, did you make them feel like they were your only customer? Like that's how they should be feeling. Customer service involves three things. One, understanding, responding to, and meeting your customers' needs and expectations. Understanding really involves listening, asking the right questions to your customers, soliciting their feedback, really understanding what is it that your company is providing in your product or your service to your customer. How is it solving their problem? How is it adding value to what they're trying to do? And then responding to your customers. There's been many cases where a customer may call a company, and they're calling to ask a question, and they don't get a response for a day or two, if they get a response at all. If your customer is spending time calling your company or emailing your company, contacting you through your company's website, and for you not to respond to them, that's not good customer service. They're calling with a question and they can't get an answer. They're passed around. That's poor customer service. When your customer contacts you, they should get almost an immediate response. And then we need to meet our customers' needs and expectations. It's maybe debatable on what a need and expectation is, but from a customer service perspective, our goal should be to meet their needs and their expectation. So just to give you an example, your customer may need your product or service, but they also expect it to be of good quality, to be on time to work when you provide it, right? So meeting the customer's needs and expectations are equally important. Number two, interacting with your customer as an individual and not a source of revenue. To me, this is very important to understand that our customers are first, they're people, they're human beings. They're not dollar signs, right? So we need to interact with our customers from a human perspective and then from an individual perspective, because they all have individual needs for their organizations, and dealing with the individuals may require different approaches. So focus on interacting with your customers as an individual first, and not as a source of revenue. If you do that, the revenue will take care of itself. Number three, we must appreciate the value of each individual customer. We must appreciate their value more than their revenue value. All right, so if we appreciate their value as individuals, let's not look at them from a perspective of how they contribute to our overall sales mix or our revenue mix. What's more important is how are we treating each individual customer and each individual within our customers' organizations. The revenue part, if we do that, will take care of itself, and I'll show you that in our case study. Our customers are our number one assets. Now, if you look at your balance sheet of your company, you know, for you that would be your sales or your income statement. Your sales, like where does your sales come from? Where does most of your cash on your balance sheet come from? It's from your customers. All right, so we spend a lot of money to acquire our customers, right? If you think about it, all the marketing and all the sales, all the things you do on social media, your websites, your flyers, your mailers, all these things, webinars that your company does, trade shows, you do all of that to acquire a customer. And so it doesn't make sense that once you acquire the customer to not provide them with excellent customer service to keep the customer or customers, right? So you guys know, and if you don't know, you should talk to someone and really understand what your company goes through to acquire your customers. And maybe if we understand that, it will give us a different perspective on how to provide this excellent customer service, contagious customer service that we're talking about today. So one way that we can look at that is that we can calculate our customer acquisition costs so that we can really understand how much money does it take for us to acquire our customers. One way to look at that is to kind of get your sales numbers and divide that by the marketing and advertising expenses for your company. Right? You may find this on your income statement. So in this example, this organization has generated $10 million in sales. And so if we take that $10 million in sales and they spent $200,000 to generate that 10,000, meaning they spent 200,000 in sales and marketing to generate 10 million in sales, that came out to about $50 per dollar of revenue that they were able to generate. Okay, so that will give you an idea of how much it really costs for you to acquire your customer. Now there's different calculations to this, but I think some people calculate it based upon how many new customers that you acquired for the amount of marketing and advertising, but I think it's more realistic and comprehensive to look at how much revenue or sales were you able to generate for the marketing and advertising dollars that you incurred. Also, this organization called New Voice Media reported that poor customer service costs United States businesses $75 billion per year. That means that we're losing $75 billion per year due to poor customer service. We have to understand that our customers are literally our number one asset for our companies. Because without our customers, we don't have a company, we don't have business. We can't take care of all of the other assets that we have without our customers. So we have to treat them as if they are our number one asset. But for me, I don't believe that you can provide excellent customer service without providing good internal customer service. Meaning, we have to take care of our employees first, because our employees are the ones providing the customer service to our customers. So I want you to think about internal customer service and then external customer service. You can provide good internal customer service, meaning to your employees, and your employees will provide great external customer service, meaning to your paying customers. So we must start there. We cannot overlook the importance of that the role of the employee plays on providing excellent customer service to our organizations. If you have unsatisfied employees, you will have unsatisfied customers. Let me repeat that. If you have unsatisfied employees, it will equal unsatisfied customers. They go hand in hand. So you cannot just totally focus on your paying customer and forget about your internal customers. So I want to give you some points on how we should provide good internal customer service to our employees. And basically, it's almost the same points that I made in regards to providing excellent customer service to your external customers. Same thing with employees. We need to understand, respond, and we need to work to meet their needs and expectations. You know, your employees, they have needs and expectations as well, and you should be engaging, communicating with them, soliciting their feedback so that we understand what their needs are. And we should be working within, as an organization to meet their needs and expectations. Number two, we should be interacting with employees also as individuals and not looking at them as overhead or as expenses, right? So just like I encourage you not to look at your paying customer as a revenue, I'm saying do not look at your employees as overhead or expenses. We all know that they are on our income statements and so forth, but that is not the way we should be interacting with them. We should make sure that they feel appreciated, make sure that they feel valued. My point number 3 here. Make sure that we're looking at them more than just their job that they're providing to your organization. Just as I'm saying, you should look at your customer as more than just a source of revenue. You should be looking at your employees as more than just the job that they're providing to your organization. All right, so it's very important. Here is a really good example of poor customer service, guys. I mean, look at this picture here. Right? I mean, this is a customer of United Airlines. So on April the 9th in 2017, you guys may remember this. This was in the news. United Airlines actually drugged this employee off the flight. And you can see as a result, the employee, you can see him being on this picture. They're dragging him off the plane. That means they're dragging him. They drug him out of his seat, pulled him out of his seat, drug him down the aisle of the plane and out the door. and you can see how he got bloodied. United ended up paying a settlement to him, millions of dollars. Okay, but the image was captured by everyone on the plane, pulled out their cell phone, of course. They started recording, and these were the images of United Airlines customer service on April the 9th. Now, I personally fly United Airlines, and for the most part, I've had a great experience with their customer service. But this is not the image that we want about our customer service. This is not the image United Airlines wanted in regards to their customer service. So this all came about because, as you guys know that travel quite a bit, that most airlines, they overbook the flights. In this case, they overbooked the flights, and they needed to have some seats for crew members who needed to get to the next flight. So of course, you hear them all the time coming across the intercom trying to provide incentives to passengers, $800 voucher. In this case, no one accepted the voucher, so they had a full flight. So their next level was to randomly select 4 passengers to be removed, and this gentleman was one of the 4 passengers that they randomly selected. Now, this passenger, mind you, had paid his money. He had his boarding pass. He was actually seated. He had his luggage put overhead. He was buckled up. I think he was on the phone when he was approached to be removed from the plane. And he's like, "No, I'm not giving up my seat. I paid for my seat. I need to get to my destination." And so it turned into this big fiasco, and United had him forcefully removed from the flight. And from that, it was a public outcry. And the very next day, even the same day, these videos and images were started to be were posted on social media. The news picked it up, and it became a very embarrassing moment for United Airlines, and a very traumatic moment for this customer of United. So actually on April the 11th, 2 days later, United started actually losing value in their stock. They lost $255 million in stock value in a couple of days. So they internally, United Airlines met on the 14th, only a few days later, and they changed their policy to not remove passengers that have already boarded planes, right? So it shows you how, first off, poor customer service can cost your company a lot of money. In this case, it cost United Airlines $255 million in just a couple of days. And then they have this image. You can Google this image, United Airline passenger pulled from flight, and you'll see all of these images on the internet. But then United Airlines actually changed their policy, which means that if we're really working to understand our customers and be responsive to them and working to meet their needs and expectations, United should have already thought about the issue that this policy would cause and should have already changed it before April the 9th, right? If they're really trying to satisfy their customers and provide them with excellent customer service, you don't wait until you drag a passenger off of a flight, they get bloodied, you lose $255 million in value, in stock value, and then make a change. So this is what I'm talking about. We should be looking at ways to enhance our customers' experience with our organizations and before something like this happens. So let's turn our attentions to an organization that actually provides excellent customer service, right? They're always in the news for providing excellent customer service. I mean, if you go to, and this is Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A, of course, is an organization that basically they sell chicken sandwiches, right? But if you go to any Chick-fil-A, you will see cars starting at 10 a.m. in the morning wrapped around Chick-fil-A. You're basically never able to just go walk into a Chick-fil-A. And if you have it's not the norm. The norm is that you have to get in line. If you're going to the drive-through, those cars are wrapped around the building. The employees are always happy. They're nice. The environment is nice. And it's one of the reasons is because they provide excellent customer service. And more importantly, they provide an excellent customer experience for their customers. Okay, so let's talk about this case study of Chick-fil-A here. So for one, Chick-fil-A in 2016, 2017, and 2018, and I'm sure it will be the case in 2019, they were rated as the number one, being the best in fast food customer service in America, rated as number one. All right, the owner, Truett Cathy, philosophy when it comes to customer service is that Chick-fil-A should be about more than just selling chicken. He says that Chick-fil-A should be about more than just selling chicken, guys. We should be part of our customers' lives and the communities in which we serve. Now think about what I said earlier, is that your customers should mean more to you than just revenue or the products and services that you're providing them. I mean, Chick-fil-A is just a chicken sandwich provider. Your company may provide whatever product that it provides, but at the end of the day, your customers are connected to your product in some kind of way. And if they're not, that should be your goal, is to make a connection, or you understand what the connection is to your product or service to your customer. There's always a bigger picture as to why they're doing business with you than them just buying your product or your service. We must understand why they're buying our product and service, and then we can make that connection. We have to be more about than just selling our product or service to our customers. Now, I found this very interesting, and we all know this, is that Chick-fil-A is only open 6 days a week, and they generate $9 billion in annual revenue. Now, this is compared to their other competitors, such as McDonald's, Sonic, Burger King, other organizations that are open 7 days per week. That means that they're working harder, their employees are spending more time, these companies are spending more money, they have more expenses, and they're not even generating even close to the revenue of Chick-fil-A, who's only working 6 days. That means that, they have less expense. The workers are working less, but they're generating more. Chick-fil-A is generating more. So this case study actually shows us that excellent internal and external customer service pays off, right? So let's continue talking about Chick-fil-A. So these are some of the 6 keys to excellent customer service of Chick-fil-A. Number 1 is they provide a positive and supportive work environment for their employees. If you go into Chick-fil-A, all the employees are very happy. The customers are greeted with a smile. I've never gone to a Chick-fil-A restaurant and the person is grumpy. They're always smiling. Number 3, that the customers are referred to by name and not a number. If you go to Chick-fil-A, they ask you what your number is. When your order is ready, they say, Oscar, your order is ready. They don't say number 140. Number 4 is that employees respond to customers by saying "my pleasure," making the customers feel valued and respected. When I say thank you to Chick-fil-A when they hand me my food, they say, "Oh, my pleasure." My pleasure to do this. Number 5, Chick-fil-A, they design their processes to reduce customers' wait time. They're very efficient. Even though they have those long lines, they get you in and out. And although they get you in and out, you don't feel rushed. They do it in a manner where you don't feel rushed. You still feel valued as a customer. Number 6, they provide their orders quickly. The food is hot, and the quality of the food is great. So guys, these are 6 keys from Chick-fil-A's perspective that if you implement these 6 things within your organization, it will help your organization also provide contagious customer service to your customers. I want to provide you with 9 general keys to providing contagious customer service. Number 1, provide excellent internal customer service to your employees. Start there first. Make sure that your employees feel like customers to your organization as well. Number 2, establish an emotional connection with your customers. Internal customer, also your external customers. Get to the why they're doing business with you, with your company. Why are they doing business with your company? Why are your employees working at your company? It should be more than just a paycheck for your employees. It should be more than just your product or service to your customers. Okay? Number 3, make your customers feel appreciated. Make sure that they feel appreciated. Not you just send them an invoice and collect the payment. No, make sure that they understand, I really appreciate your loyalty to our company. Ensure employees are trained and prepared to interact with customers. Every time that your employees are interacting with your customers, they should have some training on how to do that. What they should do, what they should say, how they should respond to certain things. Okay, just like when Chick-fil-A, they ask you what's your name. They said it's my pleasure. Those are training programs. Number 5, don't pass customers around within your organization. We all have experienced this where we call the company, they pass us to another agent, we have to repeat everything we said, they pass us to someone else. No one likes that. So maybe you need to put in a CRM, a customer relationship management system, so that if you do have to transfer customers, that they don't have to feel like they're being routed around and they have to repeat everything. Number 6, be polite and be respectful, even if your customers are not. Hey, we can't control how our customers respond, but we can control how we respond to them. So we must always be polite and respectful to our customers. Number 7, we need to respond to our customers quickly. Don't have our customers waiting. If they're waiting, they're calling someone else. Pick up the phone. Respond to them timely. If you don't, another company will. Your competitor will. And you're going to lose that customer. Number 8, provide products or services in a timely manner. Work to provide your products and services in a timely manner to your customers, meeting their needs and expectations. And if you can surpass, like in this graphic, this is an awesome graphic. It goes from excellent, it says awesome. Like if you can surpass your customers' expectations, that's awesome. Number 9, solicit your customers' feedback and take action. There's nothing worse than soliciting feedback and you're not doing anything with it. So solicit it, and I guess there is something worse than that. Something worse would be not even soliciting their feedback. So you got to start there, solicit their feedback, and then take action on it. So these are 9 keys that I hope you can take away, and it will help your organization provide contagious customer service for your companies.
Thank you, Oscar. Excellent presentation. It's now time for the Q&A portion of our presentation. The first question that's been submitted to us is, what is the most important factor in making customer service contagious?
Victoria, that's a really good question. Um, to me, the most important factor in making customer service contagious is just the experience that your organization is providing to your customers. As I was saying, that's what we should be focused on, is trying to make that connection. What is the experience, the emotional connection that we can make to our customers? Or do we understand why they are coming to us, the why they need our product or services? Even from our employees' perspective, the why are they working within your organization? Like, what value are you bringing to them? What value are you bringing to your external customers? What value are you bringing to your employees? Things of this nature, right? So to me, that's the most important factor, is really just the overall experience that your customers having. We saw that in the Chick-fil-A case where, it's just a chicken sandwich, but what they're really selling is the experience to their customers and to their employees. All right, we have another question.
Yes, our next question is, can you use customer satisfaction surveys to monitor customer service?
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's a really good question. So can we use customer satisfaction surveys to monitor customer service? I mean, that is one tool. There are many other tools that you can use to measure customer service, but there's nothing as effective, in my opinion, as a survey. This is where you're actually soliciting your customers' feedback. And more importantly, you're soliciting feedback on their satisfaction. So I feel that every organization should implement a customer satisfaction survey within their organization, right? But if you think about it, your customer satisfaction survey is more of a lagging indicator. So it's after you provided the product or service to your company. You should also strive to implement more leading indicators of customer satisfaction, meaning things that you can measure on the front end before you provide your product or services to your customers. And this will allow you to monitor the customer service while your product or service is being provided, or before you provide, or during providing the product or service. So yes, customer satisfaction surveys are important and very valuable, but be mindful that they are lagging indicators, and what we want to focus on are more leading indicators of customer service. Okay? Any other question? I think we have time for about one more.
Our last question is, what is the difference between customer service and satisfaction?
Okay, yeah, that's a great question here. When you read these, or when you say these two things, they kind of sound the same: customer service and customer satisfaction. But if we think about it, the customer service is how we provide customer satisfaction. So the customer service is a means to the end, and the end is customer satisfaction. So what are all the things that you're doing before, during providing, before your customer orders, during you providing that product or service to your customer? That's the customer service part. The customer satisfaction comes after that. Like, what's your grade? What was your customer's experience during that? So they are different. Customer service is a means or a method to achieve customer satisfaction.
That concludes our Q&A session. We encourage you to reach out to us at 832-326-9796 or via email at info@iso9001group.com to continue the discussion or if you have any questions. We also would like to remind you to follow us on your favorite social media channels to stay up to date on when our next complimentary webinar will be, as well as additional management system tips and training opportunities. This webinar will be on our site for your use. Thank you and have a quality day.